Learn to edit yourself. As fashion designers, the tendency is to think that all of our ideas and inspiration are created equally, but the truth is that the best garments are curated and they demonstrate constraint. Here are 5 ways in which I have learned how to better edit my garments. First, editing is about cutting the good ideas and not just the bad ones. The easiest thing to do is to cut your bad ideas, your weak ones. The real constraint comes from looking at all the good ideas you have and realizing that you cannot pick them all. Every garment needs to have a focal point. If there are multiple elements competing with each other, it's going to be confusing for the viewer to understand the narrative and story you are trying to tell and differentiate the primary versus the supporting characteristics of the garment. For example, you might be creating a really cool jacket with a beautiful collar that also has top stitching and unusual buttons, but also a big, bold, dramatic silhouette. And so what's going to happen is that every single element now, instead of complementing each other, is going to be at conflict and competing with each other for your attention. Because of that, the garment is going to read as confused and cluttered. Next, watch where the eye travels versus where you would like it to go. A properly edited garment will deliberately carry the eye across primary details first and then secondary details. If there's no specific narrative here, the eye will bounce around with no specific resting point. A good way to practice this is to take a few pictures of your garment from a few different angles, let the pictures sit for a few days, and then look at them again to see where your eye goes to first. You can also send this to friends and family to get their feedback and then see what was the first thing in your garment which caught their eye. If their feedback and your own don't actually match the narrative of what you're trying to tell, this is an indication to you that maybe you need to adjust some of the primary characteristics in your garments so that they're better emphasized to support the narrative you're trying to tell and then to slightly downplay the supporting details. Every detail you select needs to earn its place. It's okay that you love top stitching and hardware and buttons and trim, but all of these need to work in collaboration with each other. The reason you pick these details cannot be just, oh, I think they look cool, so I'm going to keep on adding them. No, the point is that they need to reinforce the concept, they need to earn their place, they need to add to how the eye is reading across a garment. And if they don't, they need to be edited out. Finally, learn when a garment is finished. There is a such thing as over-editing, and there is a point you will reach where you have looked at and sewn and designed and added to and removed to no end with this garment, and it is time to put your pencils down. As you go through your design process, there will be a point where the garment's narrative and storyline is fully resolved. That is the point where if you continue to fuss with and strip out the life of this garment, you will take away the tension that made it interesting in the first place. So part of developing discernment and knowing how to edit is also knowing when the garment is done and being able to walk away from it and be happy with the work that you've created. For more behind the scenes on fashion operations, processes, and systems, be sure to subscribe.